As you've seen, our guest today is one of Linda's very, very best friends. The two odd birds, or old birds, as they call themselves. They've been by each other's sides through thick and thin for over 30 years. Lesley Joseph is going to be telling us how Linda's kept her spirits up during lockdown and how she thinks Dorian would be dealing with all of this. Delighted to have her with us today. Lesley, hello, how are you?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I can't tell you. Can I just tell you something? It's so interesting to see Janet talking about that, because underneath this red blouse, I do have on my dress.
Oh,
Yay! Yes, she is.
Gorgeous. That is actually
She is the most treasured item in my wardrobe. I absolutely love it. And in fact, I've got two wardrobes here, and they're both full of Dorian clothes. But this is my go-to dress to see if I put weight on or not.
Yeah.
And most of them you never paid for.
Actually, I did. I can't get rid of them all because I love that character so much. And, yeah, I still wear them. Mind you, the skirts are rather short.
Mine and Pauline's reaction there was real, because we'd never seen you do that until we got to the Hammersmith Apollo that day to watch it. And it was like, we couldn't believe it. I mean, they didn't show the bit where you're on the floor and your legs are in the air and everything. But the audience absolutely loved it.
We recorded that in front of about 850 people. I had not a clue. We went to the Hammersmith Palais and there were all these strangers out there, and I did it. And I thought I was the best singer and the best dancer in the world. It's only when I watched it back I thought, oh, she is so terrible. That everybody must have thought I was doing it badly, but that was me. So brilliant.
You were amazing, honestly.
Lesley,
you really were.
I wanted to ask you, what is it about Linda and your friendship? What's the secret ingredient to a great friendship?
I don't really know. We've been through so much together. I mean, 30 years, you go ups, downs, divorces, you know, relationship failures, everything, and through thick and thin. And Linda is one hell of a wonderful person. She's so embedded in your friendship. And once you have a friendship with Linda, that's it for life. And certainly during this lockdown, I get quite emotional thinking about it. But I have what I call Juliet's balcony, my front window, where, because I'm over 70, so I haven't been out the house at all. And she will come round. The first time she came round, I absolutely burst into tears, couldn't stop crying. Just to see her, to be there. And I know when Linda went through a hard year, I was there for her.
You was.
And that's been what it's been for 30 years, really. And she's just a lovely, lovely, real, genuine, fabulous person who's great fun to be with. And we've done lots of jobs together outside of Birds, haven't we?
Can I tell them what I brought you round?
Oh, yeah.
I bought her flowers. She asked for fresh orange juice, bought her fresh orange juice. I bought her tweezers. I bought her tenor ladies. I bought I bought her, you know, one of them sprays for your hair, the dark brown sprays. I bought her around one of those as well, because I couldn't have her going grey and looking her
That's
age.
done the front of my hair. If I turned round now, you'd see what it really looks like. I mean, I look like a badger. There's about that much white and the rest is dark. So, but who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
And can I just say... What? Go on.
Lesley, I want to ask you something. We know that Linda's a saint, but what's the most annoying thing about Linda? What, over the 30 years, you two must have had a bust up over something.
Her OCD, everything has to be perfect. She's, aren't you? You're quite a particular person. Everything has to be in its right place at the right time. And, yeah, that is quite difficult to cope with sometimes.
You're a bit like that.
Has she ever moaned at you about your behaviour? Has she ever moaned at you about your behaviour?
Oh, she moans about me all the time, everything I do. What's really weird, though, with this whole pandemic thing, that I am paranoid about my health anyway. So if I'm doing a musical, for example, I will never open a door. I'll always take my thing, my dress or my blouse, and I'll open the door like that. So this, to me, wearing gloves or a mask is just like an extension of what I'm actually like. I think I drive them mad anyway, but that doesn't matter, does it?
Tell us how you said there, Lesley, that you're over 70 and you haven't been out at all.
Yeah.
So how are you entertaining yourself? How are you?
You know what?
Getting through the days.
I'll tell you how I do it. So I create a day which is like a normal day. So at 9:30 I get up and I do yoga with a couple of friends online, and then I do a couple more very short yoga sessions, and then I do this walking at home session where you march out to this the app that I've got on the phone, and then you do all your exercises, and then I'm exhausted, so I have a cup of tea and breakfast, And then I do work. You see, when I do this, my hands go like that. Then I do work in the morning, like cleaning, polishing, whatever. The house has never been so clean. And then in the afternoon, it's relaxed time. And because the sun's been out, I go out and have the sun. But yesterday was a major day for me because I get quite emotional. I actually went outside for a walk. And that's been the first time I've been outside for 10 weeks. Wow. And I actually walked up the road and I walked for 40 minutes. And then in the afternoon, I went and sat in a friend's garden and had a glass of champagne. And that had been the first drink I'd had, first drink. And by the end of that, I was quite nervous and wanted to get home again. But that was such a big breakthrough for me because I've been really good. And I thought I'd sort of channel my inner mother who died when she was just under 104. And she always used to say, worry about things you can change, but don't worry about things you can't. So the whole of this lockdown, I thought, what can I do to make this better for me? Okay, exercise, eat carefully, eat lots of vegetables, lots of fruit, speak to your friends, see your friends out of Juliet's balcony. And I've done all that. And now I felt it was time to actually go out and reconnect with life, which is why it's so gorgeous to be with you today. Because I sort of feel, oh my goodness.
Your lovely mum, Vicky, was doing line dancing up until she was about 90, wasn't she? And playing tennis and everything.
She was such a fit woman. In the 90s.
I know, yeah.
And she used to do yoga every single morning, all that cat-cow stuff. And she always used to say, Lesley, you should always do yoga. And I used to say, oh, Mum, I like something faster, harder, cardio, all of that. But now, for about the last 8 years, I realised how much I love yoga. And there was one time in this lockdown when I didn't feel very well and I was nervous I might have it, that I just did my yoga breathing, put yoga music on, and it wasn't that, it was just something else, and breathe deeply. And that's really been amazing to keep me centred and focused.
Also, Linda tells us, we haven't got a lot of time, Lesley, but just to say, Linda says that you do like a little flutter. Have you been playing the poker or anything?
I did. Did she tell you
finds
that,
a casino. Anywhere we were on tour, she'd find a casino.
Thank you. I do play poker online at the moment. I'm afraid I play poker 3 times a week, but not for money, for, you know, just whatever it is, for chips and things. So, and that keeps me going because I do it with old Annie friends and with the Sister Act friends that I was about to do. And that keeps me going. We have a lot of fun.
We're so glad to see you sounding well and sounding upbeat and looking well. Thank you for joining us today. And you can get back to whatever it is, your poker or your downward dog, whatever it is you're doing this afternoon. Thank you, Lesley.
And thank you for always being there, Lesley. When I had a most terrible year last year, you were the one that was always there for me. So thank you very much.
Bless you.
I love you.